Hi, I'm Jalen Rose, and welcome to the Renaissance Man podcast, proudly presented by the New York Post. You know what it is, a show where we cover trends in fashion, entertainment, current events, and everything in between. Our next very special guest has had a legendary journalism career, and to this day is still evolving.
Mhm.
Gayle King is the co-host of CBS Mornings, which is undergone a new look. Actually
Yay!
hired one of my brothers,
Yeah.
Nate Burleson. Big shout and congratulations. You're
Well,
gonna
you know what I
embarrass
thought?
me.
Well, first, thank you, Mr. Renaissance Man, for inviting me.
My
Number
pleasure.
two, I think that Nate has come to the building. Listen, he came in to fill in for something. And after that very first time, Jalen, we went, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. I mean, and then it was just sort of off to the races. We are so excited. And on the welcome tape, you did a shout out to him. He was so tickled with that. I thought that was so nice of you to do. I think he's very special, and I think we're very lucky.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you for taking him in under your wing, supporting him. You guys' show is gonna do amazing things. Hopefully, I get a chance to join you guys at some point.
Oh, we would
As
like
a
that. But
guest.
listen, Nate doesn't need anybody to take them under his wing. He has got the goods, as you know. He
Yes,
he walked in and he was prepared. He
yes.
he doesn't need a thing from me other than But you know what's so great? I'm not from the school that when you bring somebody onto the team that it takes anything away from you. I actually like it when you bring on people who you think are great or terrific,
Mm-hmm.
because to me, it only adds to it. There's always going to be, I say this all the time, somebody who's richer, cuter, smarter, thinner. You just have to be comfortable in your own skin. So when you get somebody in who you think is terrific, it's like, whoa. It's like, here we go and welcome. That's all I have to say to Nate Burleson. Welcome.
Absolutely. And congratulations. But you're also the editor at large for
Yeah.
Old Magazine. And you
Yeah.
just accepted a new role as a grandmother.
Yeah, it's Oprah Daily because we went from print. Now we're digital and a hybrid, but it's Oprah Daily. I'm really excited about that. Favorite daughter, Kirby. I can't wait to be a grandmother, expecting, a baby boy, and I can't wait. I cannot wait.
So talk to us about Oprah Daily.
Yeah, so, the magazine, we launched the magazine back in 2000, which, Jalen, is 21 years ago.
Yes.
And then let's see, was it the year before last? After 20 years, she thought, we all know the importance of digital. She decided she wanted to go to hybrid. So we have digital, and then we do quarterly. The magazine comes out quarterly. So I'm still there and still very engaged in that. This is the beauty of my life, I think. I am a TV baby. TV is definitely my favorite. I love television. I'm doing it since I was a very early age. But I get Oprah Daily, which allows you to do digital and print. I have a radio show on Sirius XM called Gayle King in the House, where we
In the
go
house.
Thursday live, where it's an hour live. And I look at life and I go, that living your best life. That's how I feel about myself. Living your
And
best.
rightfully so. I'm
But you
living
can
my
always
best
be better.
life.
You can always be better and do better. Living my best
Yes,
life.
indeed. Absolutely. And thank you for acknowledging you guys' relationship because it's been special and beautiful from the outside looking in to
Yeah.
watch for decades.
I
What's been
never
the
run
best?
from that. I never, Jalen, it's so funny. People say, "Oh God, it must be so hard for you to be a best friend." I go, "No, it ain't. No, it ain't." Because I don't see myself standing in her shadow. I see myself standing in her light. And the beauty is, I've
Hmm.
never for once thought, "Oh, I wish I could do that. I wish I was that." I've never. I've been so happy for her. She's been so happy for me. So I never run away from it. When people say, "Are you Oprah's Gail?" Yes, I am.
Yeah, absolutely. What was it like for you growing up, in particular, the years you spent in Turkey, and how did living abroad inform your outlook on life?
Well, when you're a little kid, you just go where your parents go. You don't think, boy, this is really a wonderful experience I'm having, which is what my dad used to say all the time. So
Mhm.
I was in Turkey, in Ankara, Turkey, from first grade to sixth grade. And, they didn't have television there. Nobody did. So I went to the library. I was a book nerd. I had a library card back when you had these things called library cards, checked out a lot of books. I was a big voracious reader. And I did a lot of traveling. I've been to, all over Europe. And I can remember being in the Acropolis in Greece, saying to my dad, Why do we have to walk around and look at these rocks? It's hot. Why can't we go back to the hotel and go swimming? He said,
Mhm.
one day you'll appreciate that. You'll appreciate this. And now, of course, I do. I think travel and exposure is so important when you're coming up. And I'm very blessed, knock on wood, that I had that.
So many times when you're in a position that you are, and we get a chance to enjoy your work on a daily basis, people underestimate the journey. They just see the finished product. So, what made you want to be a multimedia personality? What inspired you? And how long have you been doing it?
Well, Jalen, I didn't start out saying, Jalen, lean back. I want to be a multimedia personality.
I love a cigarette.
Yeah, I know. That's my cigarette, which means very cool for school. It didn't start out that way. Listen, I majored in psychology because I was going to be a child psychologist because I love listening to people's problems, still do.
Mhm,
I love giving unsolicited advice, still do. And
mhm.
I thought I'd be really good at that, or a lawyer. And I was at University of Maryland and worked next door to a TV station. And so I've sort of, the guy offered me a job because an entry level position because he liked my voice and my personality. But I never thought I had the looks or the talent or any of that to be on television. And you go in the newsroom, and I was just so blown away by what they do. And also, when I lived in Turkey and we came back to the States, I was in seventh grade. My dad insisted that we watch the news every single night. And I thought the news was so boring. And we watched Walter Cronkite, CBS. That's
Yeah.
the way it is because that was his thing.
Mhm,
So it's so ironic to me that a job that I thought was boring,
mhm.
I'm now at CBS in our studio where Walter Cronkite's map used to sit. I just think that's amazing. That's a full circle moment. But I couldn't have dreamed this. You know the thing, God can dream a bigger dream than you can dream for yourself. I
Yeah.
never dreamed this.
One of the things that I admire about the way you do your job is how you handle controversial figures
Mm.
when you're interviewing them. And sometimes those interviews can get tense.
Yeah.
Does that make you want to hold back from asking the hardball questions? And
No.
how do you get through those tough interviews?
No, because I listen, Jalen, I am not a gotcha person where I'm trying to lead you to something, to trick you up, or um, catch you in something that may be controversial. I think any question can be answered. You just have to have the right tone, the right place, and the right situation. And when that is your intention, and I'm never out to hurt anybody or harm anybody.
Mhm.
I always say I'm giving you a platform to tell your story the way you want to tell it, is how I look at it. Even if somebody has gone through something that's very controversial, very awkward, maybe there was a police activity, I'm still giving you the opportunity to tell your story the way you want to tell it. So no, I don't shy away from that. I don't look at it as hardball questions. I look at it as questions that, people either want to know the answers to or are helpful in telling that person's story.
How unique for you has this, I'll say, last year and a half, 2 years been? Like, we got introduced, at least I did, to words I never used, like
Zoom,
coronavirus,
Zoom.
pandemic, Zoom. Absolutely. So, what has this period been like for you?
I mean, I think we're all feeling this. What I think is going to be more interesting is when this is all over with, to see how it's really affected all of us. I'm from a plow through it kind of girl. I've never really stopped to really think about what this is because I always think I have a job to do. Let's figure out a way to do the job. But I think it's certainly been difficult. It's been emotionally and spiritually draining. But I also think that we're going to get through it. And we're all sick of COVID, but COVID is not. We're all tired of COVID. COVID is not tired with us. It's frustrating to me when I see that there can be light at the end of the tunnel and people aren't getting the vaccines.
Preach.
If you if I did an interview with Chris Rock, which I thought was hilarious, where and this was early on before we knew about the vaccine. He goes, people don't even know what the blank 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 is in a Tylenol, but when you have a headache, you take it, but you're not,
Correct.
and you know that it works. Here you have science. You have science that's backing you up. So you always, I have members of my own family, much to my chagrin and disappointment, who I said, I'm sorry, you just can't come to Thanksgiving dinner. I'm not playing with this stuff. And
Agreed.
all these people that are looking at the internet and getting somebody told me the other day, well, somebody took the shot and their testicles became swollen.
I
Okay.
believe that was Nicki Minaj.
Yeah. Nikki said that, but somebody else said that to me too. And I said, where did you get that from? Maybe the person was quoting Nikki. I don't know. Where did you get that from? See, this is how stuff starts. One person says it, then another person says it, and to that I say, just look at the science and talk to a doctor that you know and trust. No reputable doctor is going to tell you that. Listen, maybe the person's testicles did swell, which Jalen I hear could be very uncomfortable. I don't know.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Especially when you get hit playing basketball.
So maybe that did happen, but if it did, I don't believe it was because of the vaccine. Maybe they
Oh,
have other issues.
correct. I agree. And for me, I must be honest. I've truly been frustrated like you that there are
Oh,
people in my life that I'm still arguing with
yes,
to
yes.
get vaccinated. So how has that been for you?
Well, it's been painful, but more than pain, it's been very disappointing because
Hmm.
I think these are smart people. And for all of us who have been vaccinated, we all say, well, there's someone in my family. I haven't met one person who's been vaccinated that says, yeah, that hasn't said, yeah, I got one of those too. And,
Hmm.
and, and then they used to say, well, I want to get the FDA approval. Then the FDA approval comes and, well, I'm still doing research. Oh,
Hmm.
okay. So you're a doctor now. Okay. You're a scientist. All right. Okay. All right.
What did it mean for you? Because I remember being at the inauguration in 2008 and
Oh, me
being
too.
there again in 2012. And
Me
you
too.
played a major role, and obviously Oprah played a major role in propelling Barack Obama to be the first Black president of the United States.
Well, I think Oprah played a major role, certainly. I really do believe that. I saw that with my own eyes. I saw, when they went to Iowa, she campaigned in Iowa, New Hampshire. I saw a real turning point when she went to South Carolina. And South Carolina, as you know, is very early on in the primary process. And they started out with one venue, and then they had to get a bigger venue because Oprah was coming.
Hmm.
And I physically saw that change. I saw the numbers change. Now listen, Barack Obama is a powerhouse in his own right, but
Hmm.
all of those things I believe certainly made a difference. And Oprah did so at great peril to herself professionally,
Correct.
but she felt so strongly about it. She felt that strongly about it that he was the right person for the job. And she took some knocks, no question, because as her show didn't have a political bias ever, but she felt very strongly about that she felt that she had to say something.
And how do you juggle that balance? I work in corporate America as well. And you know how this works. Issues happen.
Yep.
And you want to have your personality, but still be a professional. How do you juggle maintaining your integrity and your voice when tough issues are there for you to talk about?
Well, I do walk a fine line with that because what I realize is CBS didn't hire me to give my opinion on the news. They hired me to report the news.
Mm.
But I also am a human being with real feelings.
Hmm.
And so, there are things that happen that, like the George Floyd thing just took me to a whole nother level because it coincided with the same incident with Chris Cooper, who was bird watching in Central Park. and,
Yes.
and to see those two things back to back after a series of just nonstop where I just saw assaults on black men in particular, it was too much. It was too much. And so I walk a fine line, but I also never lose sight of the fact I'm not a robot.
Hmm.
um, I am a human being, and in addition to being a newscaster, I also am a citizen of this country,
Hmm.
and a mother,
Hmm.
and all of those things, and a woman, and all of those things matter to me. But I'm very careful with that. I really do. It's not hard for me. I'm just constantly aware of what my job is.
And also, you already know this. You can't please everybody.
Yes. Oh my God. And Jalen, the haterade. People drink a lot of haterade, but you have to get to the point that you're comfortable in your own skin.
Yes,
And that you really
definitely.
do. You get to the point that you're comfortable in your own skin, and you have people that you care about and care about you. And, I really do. It took me a long time to learn you can't please everybody, because I thought, well, God, so and so's mad at me. I don't want people to be mad at me, but as long as I feel that I've done a good job, I'm okay with it.
You can't return every email. You can't return every text. You can't take every picture. You can't sign every autograph. In any one of those categories, when you say no or you run out of time, the people are upset at you.
I know, but listen, if they come with kids, you can't say no. You can't. And I'm always very mindful of the fact that for most people, it's the first and last time they will ever see you. They will ever see you. And so I don't want them to walk away and say, oh God, Gayle King isn't what I thought she was going to be, or Gayle King was a bitch, or Gayle King was nasty. I don't want to ever leave anybody with that impression. So I do make a point, if somebody asks me, it's better, Jalen, than somebody walking up to you and going, you suck. At least they're saying, look, I watch you, I admire you, could I take a picture? Would you, I've had people say, wait, Gayle, my mama's on the phone. Could you say hi to my mama? Am I going to say, no, I'm not going to say hi to your mother? I was in the bathroom. Somebody followed me in the bathroom and said, is that you? I saw those shoes. They said, can we take a picture? I said, well, I think we should wait can we do it when I get out of the bathroom? Because I knew that was you. And she said, I told you that was her because I know those shoes. Okay. So it's better than people. Listen, I appreciate that people want to spend time and take a picture. So yes. I very seldom say no. I very seldom say no.
I agree. I have the same approach. The one thing I hate, don't take a picture of me like I'm a zoo animal. All you got to do is ask. You don't have to take a picture of the side of my head.
I know.
I have disdain for that.
Yes, I know.
Like, I will come over to you and actually say, why did you do that? You don't have to do that. Is there something publicly, and you just mentioned obviously not being in the bathroom, but for me, it's when people say, I don't mean to interrupt while they're interrupting. Like I've seen you at the airport 2 or 3 times actually. And in my head, I didn't mean to interrupt. So I didn't interrupt. Is there something for you as a public figure that you want to tell the public, hey, you don't have to do this to Gayle King. All you have to do is just ask and I'm available.
Yeah, I do think it's better if they ask. I do hate when you can see people trying to take a picture and act like they're not taking a picture. Jerry Seinfeld had a great line, which I thought was really funny. So he was someplace and somebody walked up to him and said, hey, Jerry, could I have a picture? And he goes, they won't let me. I'm so sorry. And then the person goes, oh, sorry. And you go, who's the they? But he goes, I'm so sorry. They won't let me. And when you do that, Jalen, I've never done that, but that does just sort of shut everything down. But I did think that was hilarious. I'm sorry, they won't let me.
That makes people think for sure. I'm gonna have to try that one. I'm gonna incorporate that one.
Well, they think somebody's watching,
Correct.
I'm sorry, they won't let me.
Yes, it makes me more important than I really am. Yeah, I gotta try that one. So you're the co-host, as I mentioned, of CBS Mornings.
Yes.
What's been the biggest change? Obviously, adding my brother, superstar Nate Burleson to the show.
He is a superstar. He is.
What did viewers expect from the new format?
He is. So it's me and Nate and Tony DeCopel. And what I like about it, because, the news is 24/7. We're in Times Square. I like that. Right across from, hi, Robin and Michael and George. Hey, we're right across the street. We're your new neighbors. But, I just think that, it's a new chapter for all of us. Nate just puts a different kind of energy on it. And I think the 3 of us work really well together, which is nice because, as you know, Jalen, you can't fake chemistry. You just can't. And correct. Sometimes stuff will look good on paper and it just doesn't work. And so I am finding that it's just a very easy fit. But, I'm not exaggerating when I say I really like people and I do tend to play nicely with others. Mm-hmm. I'm just excited about the new team that we have in place. We are all, I'd called Nate when they said, they were thinking about it. And certainly after he said yes, he said, I'm going to work 110%. I go, me too.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes.
Me too.
Commitment, teamwork.
Yeah.
And again, I appreciate you taking the time. But lastly, I have to ask you, you're set to become a grandmother for the first time
Yes.
last month. How excited are you, and what are you looking forward to the most?
I'm so over the moon, and I know favorite daughter Kirby's having a boy, so it'll be my favorite grandson. And I grew up in the house with four girls, and I'm the oldest. So I've always wanted to have a big brother. So this is she hopefully, God willing, wants to have other children. But I'm so excited to see my daughter become a mother. I can't even imagine what that's going to be like and what that's going to feel like for her. I wanted to be a mother since I was in seventh grade, Jalen. And since I was in seventh grade, I was going to have uh, a boy because I wanted older brothers. Then I was going to have twin girls, and their names were Rusty and Dusty. And I was going to brush their hair every night and put pretty little bows. I mean, I've wanted to be a mother for a very long time. So to see your daughter, my daughter, favorite daughter, Kirby's 35, about to become a mother is so fulfilling. I can't even explain the words of how I'm feeling about this.
Well,
and I need a cool grandma name. That's the thing. I don't
yes,
want to be called
yes,
Jalen. I don't
yes.
want to be called grandma or Nana.
No, Nona, Nana, Grammy,
Nope.
Granny.
Definitely no granny. Take it back. Take it back. Somebody said to me, well, you could be called grandma. That's a little extra. I don't want that either. I don't want to be called no grandma. So I just want something that the baby can say and that just sounds friendly and happy. And right now I'm leaning towards Gaia because Gaia means Mother Earth and it kind of sounds like Gayle. So, and I think it sounds friendly. People have said Gaia, oh, you'll like this, you'll like this. I'm walking down the street and this black woman came up to me as only black people can do and said, I don't know what's wrong with grandma because I'm called grandma. So Guyana, whatever you want to call yourself, that's stupid.
And you was like, you know what? I actually like that. That's a good call.
but I mean, she wasn't even trying to be rude. She goes, Guyana, start with Guyana, whatever you want to call yourself. Guyana, ma'am, is not a name. It's a country. But the way she said, she goes, because I'm grandma. What's wrong with that? That's stupid.
That is hilarious. Well, I'll tell you what.
But I take it as a compliment that she felt that comfortable to say that to me.
No, that's when you know you're getting love from your people.
Right.
When you get unsolicited opinion. As you started the beginning of this interview saying you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, that's when you know that you're accepted, when they give you unsolicited advice and insult you at the same time.
Correct. Well, I don't mean to insult you, but yes. Well, I'll tell you a couple of things. I call you queen. I call you royalty. And I'm forever gracious that you joined the show. But before I let you get out of here, Gayle King, it's only right that we do a rapid fire segment called Gone in 60 Seconds.
Okay.
You ready to do this?
Okay.
Name one public figure you love to interview that you haven't yet.
A public figure?
Yes.
Politician?
Anyone. Public figure. Athlete, entertainer, politician.
Well, I've been asking for 10 years since we've been on the show.
There we go.
Beyonce and Jay-Z together. And guess what? It ain't ever happening. But did you by chance see that Tiffany ad today?
Yes. So
Good
lovely.
Lord. Oh my God.
So lovely. Such an amazing depiction of a family.
Yes.
We need to see more of that.
Yes. Jalen, it made me so proud because it was so beautiful. Because it was so beautifully done. And it was beautifully done without arrogance, It was just a celebration of it. So, I mean, that just made me even more determined, like that they are them together, which they have never done together. And I know them both, but I don't see it happening. But when you say name one, that's two.
Absolutely. And shout out to JMR Rock Nation fam. Which designer makes the best morning show host dresses?
Oh gosh, because that would be
Talk
hard.
About fashion on here too.
I know. I can't.
I gotta ask you about your gear and your shoes. You keep the fly shoes on. People want to hear what you say and see what you're wearing now.
I can't pick one. Oh my God. because I have so many that I really, really, really like. Really, really, really. I can't pick one. That wouldn't be right.
All right, more than one. A couple. A couple.
Okay.
You know, people come up to you say, "What kind of dress is that? What kind of shoes are
I
those?"
know they do, but that just pisses people off. That just pisses people off.
You have a couple of designers, a couple of shoes that you
That,
like.
that are good. I have a really pretty Prada dress in yellow that I took my picture in. It's Dolce and Gabbana dress that I took one of my promo pictures in that I really like. And I like dresses too. Somebody said, "God, you never wear pants." I'm never comfortable in pants because I just think I don't feel I look good in pants. So I always prefer a dress. It's sort of my uniform. I like a nice sheath silhouette. I love that. I have a Dolce, but I also have, like, Gabrielle Union has a line with New York and Company where the
Mm,
dress is like $80 but looks good. People
yes,
people are always surprised, but it's really pretty stuff. It's really pretty stuff. And I don't mind the high low. Sometimes my shoes cost more than the dress, but it
correct.
looks but it looks good. But it looks good. I
So
like
I
that.
was on the talk 3 weeks ago. I
Yeah.
had a really expensive shirt on, but my blazer was white. It was $69.
Yes,
I
yeah.
know exactly what you saying.
That's what I mean.
That's the television, also the public figure trick to fashion.
Yeah, yeah. Everything doesn't have to cost an arm, a leg, and a spleen.
Yeah.
Now, there are some things that do. Like I like Victoria Beckham stuff. She's got clean cut lines. Roland Murray, really, really nice in silhouette. And I don't want stuff that everybody has. I have some DVF dresses, which is Diane von Furstenberg. I mean,
Mhm.
so I really do have a gamut of people that I wear.
Okay, what about this? I always talk about, in order to master the morning, it starts the night before. So name
That's
one thing
hard.
every morning person must have.
Mm, well, you better have a good alarm clock. I have two. I have two. It's very difficult for me. I get up at 3:24. I hit three snoozes. One,
That's
two,
an
three.
ungodly hour. Please continue.
I know it's ridiculous. One, two, three. I need three snoozes, and then I bathe. You'll be happy to know I take a bath every single day. I
You
know
need to
you were.
talk to
I
some
know you
people
were
in
wondering.
Hollywood about that.
I know you were wondering. I know what you're saying. Does Gail take baths or does she take showers? I like a bubble bath, so I do that every
Yes,
day. Then the
yes.
car picks you up, and then you go to work, and it's hair and makeup because this TV face doesn't happen by itself. I didn't wake up like this, flawless. This is the TV face. So, and it takes a village, and I make no apologies for that. Oh, Jalen, you'll like this. I have a new hair and makeup team. People
Nice.
said to me, "Did Gail have surgery?" Somebody said, "Oh, she's had a lot of work done." I go, "No, if I had work done on my face, I would tell you. I would tell you. I'd probably say, bring the cameras in so you can see." But Giselle and Ray Don are killing it, killing it.
And we see it because you're glowing.
Yeah, I
What
do.
is your
I'm in
perfect?
a good place. I'm in a good
Yes,
place.
you deserve to be. And speaking of being in a good place, what is your perfect vacation
Oh,
destination?
I love warm and pretty and tropical. I love a warm, pretty place, whether it's Turks and Caicos. I love the Caribbean. What I really like is any friends with yachts that will
Yes,
invite me to go to the Mediterranean in the summer.
yes. Well,
Positano is lovely in Italy during the summertime.
I know somebody that's I call a Hall of Fame mogul named Magic
Magic
Johnson,
Johnson, yeah.
right? And I may have run into him and or somebody successful like a Denzel Washington in
Yes.
Toronto. And I follow them on social media. It seems like he takes that yacht in the
Yeah.
water for like a
Yeah.
quarter of the year.
Yes. And it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I tell you, that is the best kind of vacation. Actually, you know what, Jalen? It's on my bucket list one day to be able to charter a yacht. They're super expensive, so I could never do it. I could never do it. But to charter a yacht and take my sisters and their families on a yachting vacation, something that they would never be able to do. Every Thanksgiving, I take everybody. I've got three sisters, there's four girls, so it's a total of 16 people.
Mhm.
Um, and we go someplace warm for Thanksgiving. So I pay for everybody to come and have a great dinner. And I like doing that. Number one, I love my family. But my bucket list is to be able, because when you've gone on a yacht, you know what that's like.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to sound la-di-da here. I've only got to go because I have friends who invited me. So it's not something that I get to do on a regular basis. That's on my bucket list. And to take them on a safari in Africa, because I've done that. And I think that's something that I would like for everybody to be able to do one day.
I would love to do the safari in Africa as well.
Isn't that nice? Yeah, I've done that a couple of
You
times.
have. So tell me about that, because that's something that I aspire to do as well.
Yeah, you want to go someplace where you see the big five. You see the lions, the elephants, the tigers, where you see the real, and it's so beautiful. After I went on my first safari, I came back and I hated zoos because I thought it's so unfair that they're in a cage and people are just looking at them and gawking at them when really they just should be able to have the run of the land. I haven't been to a zoo since I went to my first safari years ago. I cannot look at them the same.
Wow. You know what? You just gave me an interest in mental manipulation, and you're exactly right.
Yes.
Do
you think they like being in those cages and us looking at them? No. And it's, we wouldn't like being in a cage with people.
No.
You were talking about people taking your picture on the slide. So being in a cage and people taking your pictures all the time, or some knucklehead climbing into the thing to tease you, to mess with you.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. So, I mean, those are things I would really like to do for my family one day. But for me, for a regular vacation, when I'm doing it, it's just, I just want a pretty place with a nice pool where you can sit and just drink. And by drink, I mean a nice fruit cocktail, because I don't drink. A nice fruit cocktail and read a book. I did the Central Park concert that Clive Davis put on, which was great, by the way. And then it got rained out.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Killers were performing backstage acoustically because I thought maybe they could go on. Well, I was singing along with the Killers with gusto, taking pictures. And in the paper it said, and Gayle King was there, obviously drunk. And I go, I was just singing. And I was enthusiastic. And I just thought, damn, I mean, that's how stuff starts. It started just like that. Gayle King was there and she was obviously drunk.
Well, if they were better at their job, they could have used one word with multiple meanings. They could have said intoxicated. Yeah. That's what they could have said to save themselves. And speaking of that, last but certainly not least, what advice would you give aspiring journalists looking to get their foot in the door?
Well, number one, get your foot in the door. Especially when you're starting out, you should take an entry-level position that you may not be interested in, just to get your foot in the door and make sure the boss knows your name once you're in there. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean knows your name in a bad way, knows your name like, God, Jalen is really good. Where did he come from? What does he do? Because you get some interns, Jalen, I know you've seen them. They're sitting there looking at their watch. They're looking bored. And there's others that come in and say, what can I do? Do you need anything? Can you help me with this? Or can you show me this? Those are the people. I like those kind of firecrackers, because I really was that kind of kid. Once I got my foot in the door, I did anything that they asked me to do. And so when they were trying to think of somebody, they said, oh, we could ask Gayle, she blah, 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 blah. So, now, and there's so many opportunities with digital. It's a whole new ball game.
Well, I thank you very much for joining the Renaissance Man program. I appreciate you for being such an inspiration.
Can you tell me why you're a Renaissance man? I know why. I want to know why you say you're a Renaissance man.
I'm a Renaissance man because I've learned to multitask. First, I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and our signature building is the Renaissance Center.
That's right.
So it's a play off of my hometown. Mm-hmm. But then it's the multiple tasks I've learned to juggle on a daily basis. So I'm a founder of a charter high school that I started in 2011. I'm also the president of the board and a chief fundraiser for ESPN. I do Jalen and Jacoby Monday through Friday.
I know, I saw that, yeah.
I'm featured on Get Up in the morning. And during basketball season, I do NBA Countdown. So that's 3 television shows plus a podcast with them. For the New York Post, I write a column every Thursday. And I also do a podcast, and I make sure gracious guests like yourself get a framed copy of the
Said
column that I write.
podcast. Okay, and what's your personal life? What is that? How do you take care of that?
So my personal life is I'm a father,
Yep, I
and
saw
I'm really happy to be that. Clearly, my oldest is a senior at the University of Georgia, who also does what you do, what I do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
My youngest, Gracie, is a sophomore. She plays volleyball. She's a terrific student as well. They live in Georgia with their mom. And so
Uh-huh.
I'm actually flying there tomorrow to see my daughter play volleyball on Thursday and then to hang out with my daughter on Friday. So I do a great job of trying to juggle everything I need to juggle. And I'm really fortunate, really blessed.
And that's why you are, Jalen Rose, a Renaissance man.
Yes, ma'am.
Drop the microphone.
Yes, indeed. I
Thank you
appreciate the
so
love.
much. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you guys for asking me. I thought this was great fun.
My pleasure. I look forward to seeing you soon.